So, welcome to another edition of BB News. And first of all, we had a special one, Jose Mourinho. Then we had the one who wanted to make the players suffer, Antonio Conte. Then we had the one who wanted to make us difficult to beat, Thomas Tuchel. And now we've got the excited one. So, welcome Mauricio Pochettino. And I'm going to be dissecting his first interview for Chelsea. So, this is beginning to feel like our club again. A manager who knows what he's doing, and a manager who feels like before who had people like Jose Mourinho, people like Antonio Conte, people like Thomas Tuchel, who wanted to connect with the crowd. Okay, Frank Lampard as well, who wants to connect and engage with the crowd. We sort of missed that with Graham Potter. He didn't really engage with the crowd, and he was a bit bland in his interviews and everything else. So you didn't really want to watch his interviews. But with the new manager now, Mauricio Pochettino, good times hopefully are going to be coming back to the club. And so he mentioned the word excited so many times. I remember counting the amount of times that when Antonio Conte became our manager, it was suffer. The players have got to suffer. We got to suffer together. But this guy, he's mentioning the word excited. He's excited to be here. He wants to bring excited football to the club. So, starting from the beginning, let me extract some of the things what he said in his interview. So first of all, he said he wants to bring happiness back to the club again by playing good, excited football. And that's what we want, exciting football, and that's what we want to see. You know, last season was a disaster for all of us. We're suffering in the wrong kind of way last season. We suffered. We became the club, you know, the banter club. Everybody, even can you imagine it? I was taking stick from people at work who support Brentford and Fulham. Really? We finished below Brentford and Fulham. That's embarrassing. So we want to bring those exciting, happy days back to Chelsea, and that's what he said he's going to bring back to the club. So the proof will be in the pudding. So let's hope that he does that for us. He also went on to say Chelsea have a winning culture and have been the best club in England for the last 10 years. Okay, we probably haven't been the best club in England for the past 10 years. Let's face it, Man City have been. But we've been a close second. When you look, we've had 2 Champions Leagues in the last, or one in the last 10 years. Manchester City have won as well. We've won a couple of league titles. So we've as far as trophy winning comes, we are the second best. But in saying that we've been the best club in the last 10 years, that's a similar thing what Jose said to Frank Lampard when he first came. You're the best midfielder in the world. He said it to Frank. Frank didn't believe it, but the way that he said it and encouraged him, it's to elevate him. So by saying it, you have to believe that you are the best. You know, if you want to be the best, you have to believe that you are the best. So he's trying to get that belief and mentality into the players. That's that word excited once again he said he's excited to work with such a young squad, and we've seen how he's done that in the past with Tottenham, where he's elevated the youngsters up to the next level. So, and he likes working with young players, he likes improving young players. So this is a good project for him, the Chelsea job. Then he says he loves the players with talent, and he wants players who want to be here, and that's important because some of the players didn't want to be. If you don't want to be at a particular club, if you really, you're not going to give your all to them. So he's probably saying to guys, "Do you want to be part of this project? If not, ship out." So I know people, I don't want to go on about the Mason Mount thing again. A lot of people said that he did want to be here. If he really wanted to be here, he would have made it happen. But again, that's a different story. I've covered that before, and some people may be differing on that. But I'm saying, even from what went on in the past with what happened with the hierarchy, if you really want to be here, then I think that you need to show it, not with actions, rather than words. So he then went on to say that Chelsea is a club that should not be up and down because of the history of the club. This is a club that should be at the top or challenging for titles and honours every single season. And that's the kind of words I want to hear. He's not going to be settling for second best. He's not going to be settling for mediocrity. He wants the club to perform at the highest level, and he's going to do all he can for the club to stay at that high level. And then he said the players need to feel important, and he's here to improve them. I mentioned how he's good at, that's what he does. He improves players. We've seen evidence of that in his Tottenham days. So he's got some young players who he can work with, who are hungry, and he's going to make them feel important, because he's another one who believes in the psychology of the game, similar to what Jose Mourinho had at Chelsea. He can give the confidence back to your likes of your Modric, Mikhailo Modric, who is a good player in there somewhere, but he just needs to bring out that confidence, improve him, take him up to that next level. Madueke looks like a good player. He's still a bit raw, so he can iron out those rough edges and make him into a top class player. So great, yeah. And I like what he said. We're all in it together, everybody. So he wants to, and when asked about Cobham, he said Cobham should be a place that feels like home. He wants to create a family atmosphere where people can feel important, and so where people can be, it's comfortable to work. So that's another thing that we've been lacking in the past. We've been lacking team spirit. We haven't had that team spirit since the John Terry days and people like that. So when you create a team spirit, a great atmosphere, then that translates to how you perform on the pitch. So he says everybody needs to work together. That's the staff and the players. So he likes, as I said, it's a family atmosphere. So it's a family club. So no matter if you're the cleaner, whether you're the cook, the groundsman, we're in it together. And to create that siege mentality, us against the world, we are all part of one big family. That's the sort of atmosphere that we need. I know that when Todd Bowley and people like that came in, a lot of the people, they got rid of like the physios and people like that, and there was this sort of divide, and some players were unhappy with that. So he wants to bring everything back together again so that we can all feel part of this Chelsea family. And this is what I loved. This is what I like to hear. This next statement. And if you don't take away anything from this interview, this is the one thing you need to take away from the interview, out of everything that he said. We need leaders in every single area. And he said, we need leaders, not followers. Oh, music to my ears. Leaders, not followers. I said this team have lacked leadership. And if he can build that right mentality to create leaders within this bunch of players, because we've already there's some leadership coming out. I've seen people like Enzo Fernandez has got those qualities. I've seen even people like Fofana, the way that he talks, he speaks like a leader. And so Reece James, and all it needs is a strong manager who can get this leadership out there. I know that leaders, sometimes they say leaders are born and they're not made, but you can make a good leader as well. You can harness that atmosphere. You can answer that us against the world thing, because Jose Mourinho had warriors. He created warriors. He elevated them up to that next level. So he's looking for people who can make the right decisions, not followers, not quiet, timid people on the pitch. We want warriors. That's why we've got the lion on our shirt. We've got the lion on our shirt for a reason, because we want to roar out on the pitch. We don't want to be squeaking like mice. Come on. So if we can get that instilled into the players, that's something that I would love to see. Asked about his coaching now, he says he's a better coach than he was before, and he's learned a lot from past experiences. So obviously he's had his time at Tottenham, then he'd have had that difficult period when he was at PSG, but he's learned and he's grown. And what I also like to hear as well, he loves to innovate and be ahead of everything. So, football has changed, tactics have changed, and everything else. So he's not back in the dinosaur days where he's got old tactics. He's innovating all the time, looking to improve his tactics, looking to modernise it so he's part of the modern football. I think that's where Jose Mourinho went a bit wrong after his second spell at Chelsea. He didn't move with the times, and at Manchester United, even at Tottenham, he was still playing that sort of defensive counter-attacking football. And that's the same with Conte when he was at Tottenham as well. Didn't move on, and he didn't get with the times, and that's why I think both of those great managers suffered when they came back into the Premier League. But so I'm looking forward to see how his football's moved on. He was quite a proactive manager when he was at Tottenham anyway. So he was a sort of a pressing. His tactics were high press and everything else. So he was a progressive, and I think that he's a sort of manager who can move with the times as well. So as I said, only time will tell. And this is another one what we badly lacked last season, and this is just as important as well. A team needs to send emotion to the fans, and the fans need to send emotion to the team. And we lack that engagement between fans and the team. There's a disconnect last season. So if we can connect again, because the energy feeds off each other. You know, the fans feed off the energy of the players feed off the energy of the fans. So it works both ways. So we can create that atmosphere, that culture, make Stamford Bridge a cauldron again. Stamford Bridge, back in the day, under Mourinho's days, we still hold a record for the amount of undefeated games we had at Stamford Bridge. Now people are coming to Stamford Bridge and thinking it's home from home and picking up 3 points and saying, see you later guys, got your 3 points, bye. But no, we don't want that. We want Stamford Bridge to go back to being a place where people fear to come, and they fear to come because of the atmosphere by the fans, the tempo from the players, and it's a place to go. They look at the fixture list and thinking, oh, Stamford Bridge, don't want to go there. So that's what we want to get back to again. So all in all, very impressed by his first interview. But as I keep saying, talking is good and the right words, yeah, but it's what we do on the pitch. I'd like to see the talking on the pitch more than the talking off the pitch, but it's good signs so far. So what do you think about his first interview? Have you seen it? Stick your comments in the section below. And guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications to be notified every time I make a new video. So take care for now. Bye-bye.